right in the kisser.
Hey, how the devil are you? Why I order? Right, so today we have the SMSL C200 Pro DAC / headphone amplifier. Now I know what people are thinking, not another DAC. Yes, another DAC. But you know what? This has some decent features, and it's also the upgraded version from the original C200, which was well reviewed when it came out. So I'll be going through the differences between the two and to see what upgrades they have implemented. So you better keep watching for that, okay? Reel you in. Anyway, let's bring you in for a closer look. And here it is. Ta-da! Right, so on the front we have a 6.35mm headphone out, that's unbalanced. Then you've got a balanced 4.4mm out. Got a display screen over here to the right, and then you've got your multi-function knob here. This is the volume, long press to turn it on, long press to turn it off. Short press will take you into the menu settings where you can select your inputs and goes through the menu functions. Right, let's have a little look around the back. Okay, around the back, there's your power in there. There's your Bluetooth antenna. You get, with the Bluetooth, it's 5.1. You get SBC, AAC, aptX NL, aptX HD, and LDAC. So plenty of selection there. You've got your optical in there. Down the bottom then you've got USB-C, which is, so that's capable PCM up to 32-bit, 768 kilohertz, and up to DSD 512. Then you've got your coaxial in, then you've got your RCA unbalanced out, then you've got your TRS balanced out. So that's pretty sweet. Right, let's go through that function menu. I just want to go through some of the functions on it. So you press and hold to turn it on. Say I'm on USB. Here's your volume there. Tells you your sample rate, which is on currently is 44.1. I will change that later. Then you also got your volume here. You press it once then to go through your inputs, USB, Bluetooth, optical, coaxial. Then you got your filters between 1 and 7. Now, I can never hear the difference between them. But in the manual, it actually gives you a graph, and it shows you where they roll off. And they roll off between 18 and 20k. So that's why I can't hear any difference. If you've got younger ears, you probably will notice a difference between these filters. I leave it on number 3. Number 3 is apodization filter, whatever the hell that is. I leave it on number 3, but it makes no difference to me. Then you got your DP, your DPL, that's digital phase locked loop. I can go 1 to 9. I think the default is 3, I think, yeah. And this is to do with clock jitter. So if you're using USB, you probably won't have an issue. But if you're getting problems, say through a optical from a TV, you may get some lip sync issues if it's a bad signal, some interruptions. So you can increase this to alleviate that. But like I said, if you've got USB, you shouldn't have an issue. Then you've got your USB mode. This is USB 2 at the moment, but I can also change it to, what have I done here? Hang on. You've got USB 1.1. You can use that for gaming, like Xbox, PS4, PS5, which I never use. Then you got your brightness. Turn it up and down like that. Leave it there. And then you can either have line out or headphone out, and you can hear it clicking over then. Now I like to have this because the good thing about that is you can leave your headphones plugged in and still use the line out, whereas something like that behind the Marantz. You plug the headphone in, it automatically switches, and to use the line out, you've got to pull the headphone socket out. With this one, you can leave the headphone socket plugged in, okay, and just change the line out. So I do like that function. Right, let's have a look at the differences between the C200 and the C200 Pro, this one here, to see what upgrades they've done. Firstly, they've upgraded the DAC from the 9038 to the 9039. They've got a new XMOS chip in there, gone from the 2nd gen to the 3rd gen, and that's used for the USB. The headphone amp has got a bit more juice in it. So if you look at the 200, set at 16 ohms, that was 2.6 watts. And the Pro has 3 watts, and at 32 ohms, got 1.3 watts, as opposed to 1.5 watts in the Pro. Bluetooth version has gone from 5.0 to 5.1. The signal to noise ratio is a little bit better. TRS was 126 dB, it's now 129 dB. The output levels of the TRS and RCA are slightly more, so it's gone from 4 VRMS to 5 VRMS on the TRS, and the RCA has gone from 2 to 2.5. And the total harmonic distortion plus noise is a little bit better. It's gone, so it was 0.0001%. Now it's 0.0006%. And on that's the line out. And on the headphone, it's gone from 0.0013% to 0.0009%. So there's been some decent improvements, more power, less noise. The 200 was already good, but they've made some pretty decent improvements. Anyway, right, I wanted to test the headphone out. So what I've done, I've recorded directly from the headphone out from this into my laptop, recorded via Audacity, and saved that as a WAV file to get the best reproduction of the track. And I'm going to compare it to the headphone out of the Marantz Melody X here. So this should be quite a bit better than this, you'd think. Anyway, have a listen to this. So what do you think of that? Made some notes here. So I thought the Marantz was a little softer, a little bit more recessed than the SMSL. The SMSL had better detail retrieval, was slightly fuller, better instrument separation. It was cleaner and more open. So a clear winner, I think, there for the SMSL. Are there any downsides to it? The power lead does my head in on SMSL products. They're too short. Okay, they're only 1 meter long. I'd like to see them about 1.5 meters. So rather than being 3 foot, I'd rather see them at 4.5 foot. Because I had to get an extension lead to plug this in, because I don't have an outlet directly behind here. It's over there. I don't want to put that over there, and it's over. Do you know what I mean? So I think if I had that extra 1.5 foot, half meter, it would have been better. So hopefully in future they will start making longer power leads. I know it's a silly thing, but for me it does bug me. Okay, I would have liked to have seen a line in, because you can use this as a preamp of sorts, but a digital preamp. If it had a line in, would have been good, so you can use an analog source as well. But I do understand this. You know, this is likely going to be on a desktop, so you probably wouldn't use an analog in, but would have been nice to have seen anyway. There we are. This is going to retail for around about 200 quid, 200 US dollars, 200 euros, give or take. So for its price, it's quite feature set. I think it's a pretty good prospect. And if you look at other competitors in that price bracket, the iFi Zen DAC 3, for instance, that's about 200 quid at the moment in the UK. I think it's on sale. So this has Bluetooth, the iFi DAC doesn't. This has more inputs than the DAC 3. And also the headphone amplifier is a lot more powerful in this than it is over the iFi Zen DAC 3. So you're going to be able to drive more headphones with this than you are the DAC 3. But here's the thing with DACs though. So there's only so many DAC chip manufacturers, aren't there, in the world? It's only a handful, I suppose, decent DAC chip manufacturers. What's it? AKM, ESS, Texas Instruments. I think they own Bear Brown anyway, so Texas Instruments, they're the main players. Oh, and Cirrus Logic. So not many, and they all tend to use these DAC chips. So, I mean, you can pick up these DAC chips if you buy in bulk for around about a tenner each, maybe 20, but they're not hugely expensive. But it's how they're implemented onto that board, isn't it? You know, and what components they use, what quality components they use on the board. So that does make a difference. But a lot of the times, these DACs don't sound hugely different to each other. You may get one slightly better than the other. Is it worth paying thousands of pounds for DACs? So I think that what you've got to take into account when you're buying a DAC is features and price. So this is, I think, reasonably priced for what you get, and it has quite a lot of features. So I think for 200 quid, again, a pretty good bargain here. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. That's come to the end of the video. Give it a like, yeah, and I'll catch you in the next one.